Hey everybody, Sketchy here, and this is me playing some more Dragon Quest, or Dragon Warrior on the Game Boy Color. So last you saw me, I was grinding a little bit, just showing you kind of my method for doing that, and it's very straightforward, very obvious. So right here, I am going in, I'm buying some armor, and I believe the shield, if I remember correctly. This is also post audio. I believe yes, I purchased the armor and the shield. So this is going to be a little bit more of me farming up, and then I will go play through the story. I found out what the D scale was, by the way. For those that didn't know, it boosts defense slightly. So you're going to see me walk outside, and it's going to transition over. And basically what you missed is just me walking back and forth like I showed in the last video. So I'm going to come back here, I'm going to buy my sword, and this is where I'm actually going to start playing the game. I'm going to begin going through the areas, and you're probably just going to see me derp about a bit, because I have only played this game once through. So I don't really know where everything is. I have sort of a general area, or general idea of where everything is, but I don't remember. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Head out of town, and I'm going to start checking the edges, because I don't know. Like I said, I don't know where everything is, so I'm just going to start looking around. I believe I rotate around here to the edge, fighting a couple monsters on the way. I believe I still do the speed for fights, just because they do get repetitive. It is one of the downsides of Dragon Quest games, is that you spend a lot of time early on in the game, and you'll grind a lot of levels, and then you'll get kind of fed up with it. At least that's my case. Usually towards the end of a game, when I need to level, when I need the experience the most, I've already gotten to the point where I'm just so frustrated, I'm so tired of the battles, I'm so tired of a lot of the enemies, that I'll run or I'll just spam my spells. Usually it's just run or just set my characters to auto attack. That seems to be the best, because I have what I've started referring to as Dragon Quest Syndrome, where I will go into a dungeon and I won't use a spell. I won't use a single spell except for healing, because I don't want to get to the boss and not have enough MP. So coming around here, starting to notice a few slightly new enemies. And this is where we come to this town. This is a town that I'm going to have to go back to, because, as I mentioned for a brief second in my audio for the last episode, I found out something that I had forgotten. And I've even watched something recently where someone played the game out and explained it all in 5 minutes. And he mentioned this, and I completely spaced it out. So I'm going to have to come back to this town. Right now, just walking around talking to all the random citizens, trying to get as much information as I can from them. Another thing I am going to have to come back to this town for is for the shield, because I'm not going to buy the axe here. I will buy that later. It's the item shop. I don't go to the item shops. I need to do that to buy torches, I believe was what it was. Torches and find the place that sells keys, but I don't think I can do that until much later. So they're simply explaining that the town Garenham, I believe is what it's called, is named after the bard Garen, who ended his journeys here. I'm gonna start seeing some different monsters now. This is, I believe, my first time seeing a spooky. Take care of that, no problem. It does earn slightly more golden experience than the stuff I've been fighting so far, but it's not going to be enough that I'm going to sit here and grind. Mainly because that would be kind of boring to watch. Well, actually I'm going to do it anyways, but I'm not going to show you this, guys. Let me stop saying So, I'm going to go through here, look around. Again, I don't know where everything is. I am going to go into this dungeon and use my torch. And the torch effectively works like Flash in a Pokemon game. And I'm going to walk around here trying to not go too far without finding every last thing in this room as possible. I don't believe there is anything in the end, but my exploration instincts tell me that I have to search every inch of the room. So after searching every single nook and cranny, I should be coming over here, yep, I look at the lights, and I apparently don't like them. Or they've lured me in. Whatever the reason, I finally decide to come down the staircase, because there really isn't much in this dungeon. There is something, and I don't believe it has any actual effect on the game. I believe that this dungeon is supposed to just kind of be... Oh, and I'm doing something off to the side there. I need to get rid of that mouse. So I can continue searching around here, and I find what is the grave of Loto, who in some of the translations I believe is named Erdrick, which is what basically comes with where the name Erdrick trilogy comes from. The first three games are sort of known as that because they all sort of revolve around Erdrick and his heirs, which of course will be more touched on when I get into the next game. So after finding that, it basically explained what I need to do, if I remember correctly, or just explained a little more about Erdrick, or Loto in this game. And I'm going to look around a little bit, see if there's anything I possibly missed, but I don't believe there is. And I realized that very shortly, and just head out. And I don't know what I was doing here. You might see where I just sort of walk into walls unnecessarily. I can't remember what I was doing or what thought process I had at the time, but that happened. So I start walking around, find a spooky. I believe I realize the layout of the place, and that there is a mountain with a bit of a circle around it, and at the top of it is that town I had just finished looking at. So in general, what I do plan to do with this series is I want to try and play through every single game that I can, and get it recorded and post up for you guys. So for some of those, that will be easier than others. For instance, I believe up through 5, I should have no problem. However, last time I played 6 on an emulator, something messed up, and about halfway through, the lower half of the screen got corrupted. Basically, there was a point on the map that you just could not go to, and that was really frustrating. So I'm going to try and get everything I can. If for some reason I can't get 6, then I'll basically play until I can't play it anymore, and I'll try and find a way around that. The only other way around that would potentially be, of course, playing it on my DS directly. And I don't think anyone wants to watch me filming my DS. So I'm going to try and avoid doing that. However, the rest of the series, or the rest of the games series, I can definitely do. So I'm coming down here. As you saw earlier, I did pass the first bridge. I don't believe that I was supposed to go this way yet. There's nothing wrong with me going this way. However, I will hit a point where I just can't go any further. Namely because I die. But for now, I'm just going to go through here, try to avoid the forest as much as possible, because from my memory, if you step on any tiles, any of the, what's the term? Any of the environmental tiles that show like mountains, hills, trees, those kind of things, they all slightly increase the rate of monsters appearing. And I don't know if that is something else. I don't know if that is later games, and if tiles were just created to look pretty. I find another cave here. And oh good lord, that mouse is spamming out. I know I have fixed it in my other videos, for some reason I didn't do it in this one. So, we go in that cave, and I notice I don't have a torch. I don't believe I had Radiant at this point, or I just simply didn't remember what it did. Because my memory of the Radiant spell is it's used to blind enemies. And I don't know if it does that in this game, or if it's just used to light up caves. So here we're going to find, I believe this is my first skeleton, who kicks the crap out of me. And I don't know if I just got lucky and was faster than him this turn. I would have survived anyways. And they give a significant amount of gold. So start going back. I decide, you know what, I think I can press a little further here. So that's what I do. I start walking down here. I believe this is the first Mage Draki I see. And they relatively don't pose much of a threat to me, mainly because I power farmed early on. So I am slightly overleveled, as well as in this version of the game, they did make things a little easier. That was my second Mage Draki. I met my first one after I crossed the bridge, that's right. But for the most part, most of the enemies here, they don't do nearly any damage. And I'm just going to wander around the edge here. And I believe this is about where, yep, this is where my character dies. And this is also going to be the end of the episode. So I'm looking forward to finishing out this game. Looking forward to doing the rest of the series. If you guys could provide any support whatsoever, like, dislike, any comments, any suggestions for me, any suggestions, well, yeah, for me specifically on the game or on my videos, that would be all greatly appreciated. So until next time, guys, thank you for watching, and game on.